Namaste. Welcome to Wise Out Career Guide. Today we have Miss Jasleen Baidwa with us, and she's working as an associate attorney. Let's find out what has been her journey and educational background and why she decided to get into this field. Welcome, Jasleen.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, Jasleen, what was the thought process behind getting into this field first of all?
So I did my law from IP University, and then I
Okay.
did my LLM from Amity. So basically, my LLM was my gap period where I wanted to understand what I want to do. So, like as interns, we do a lot of litigation internship, and we don't get to do corporate internship. So when I was in
Okay.
LLM, so we had this curriculum that we had to go to courts, and we had to
Mhm.
gain whatever practical knowledge we could. So
Okay.
during that time, that was the time when I actually faced the truth of litigation. That was that nothing comes easy, and you have to work like really, really, really hard. So
Okay.
at one given point, I lost 6 kgs in a week, and that was the time when I decided, okay, this is it. My dreams of becoming a criminal lawyer ends here and here only. I'll do something else.
Okay.
So yeah, so I took time out, and then there were a lot of friends of mine that were joining companies that were into US litigation. So
Okay.
that's where I got my first job through a friend, and I started
Mhm.
working with Thomson Reuters in 2016. So that was my first
Okay.
job. Yeah.
Okay,
So
so from wanting to be into litigation to moving into this field, uh, you know, after joining this job in 2016, what was the experience like? Was it, as per what you had imagined after seeing the world of litigation, or was the reality very different?
very different. So
Okay.
I think everybody who is listening and seeing to this is, might have seen this show called Suits. So everybody thinks that going into corporate and going into litigation is something similar to that. It is very different. Indian
Okay.
litigation is very different from US litigation. So, and I'm very sure whatever Suits, made a picture of the whole litigation process back there in US is also very different. So when I joined
Okay.
here, when I joined Thompson, I didn't know what I was doing. I was literally blank. And I think everybody who's joined with me was blank. What is happening here? So it took me around 2 to 3 months to understand what they were asking us to do. सो
Okay.
वो होता है ना कि हवा में बस गोलीबाजी करके काम कर रहे हो और वो सही फट्टा बैठ रहा है तो दैट वाज व्हाट वाज हैपनिंग एट दैट टाइम सो वी डिड इट somehow and then I started to get a hold of it but
Mhm.
yeah so I think at one given point it does become a little repetitive but you have to keep yourself very motivated okay that this is what I want to do and this is a safe space or whatever keeps you motivated in that work area
Right.
yeah.
So, what is your, profile like over here? What is the kind of work that is expected?
So basically, paralegal work, what US litigation guys send us here is paralegal work only. So paralegal has nothing to do what attorneys do, like
Okay.
representation in courts and all. So it
Hmm.
is mostly like going through documents and figuring out what might help the case. So
Okay.
that's what junior lawyers here in litigation do in India. But we because uh the whole chunk of work is huge because it's between one company or it's a class action suit. So at that
Okay.
time document review and contract management were the only thing that was paralegal work more into. So I was in document
Okay.
review. So document review was basically you had to go through certain documents or mails to figure out what would help the case, make or break the
Okay.
case. So in a day, we used to have targets of about doing 1,000 documents,
Oh
reading,
my God.
going, yeah. So it used to be very, toxic also. Like we are reading one thing and doing that only. And at times used to be fun also because, easy documents come and then you go through it and then, okay, it's done with. But
Right.
yeah, that was one part. And now where I'm working, that's totally, totally different. That's
Okay.
another area of work. It's debt life
Hmm.
cycle management. So I work
Okay.
there now. Provana is the company where I'm working now. So it's my third job. So yeah.
Okay.
So here I enjoy my work more because it's a club of everything. Working through
Mhm.
contracts, drafting contracts, going through documents, and it's a very challenging job also.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you said you've been working with the companies based out of US,
Yes.
sifting through their documents and everything. So, how did, you get through that? Because studying in India, you would have studied Indian law more and then understanding the entire of US law. It's like,
Uh, no, it's not that very different because
okay,
we don't really need to know the laws of
okay.
US laws. Yeah, not all of them. Maybe
Hmm.
bits and pieces of them. Right now, where I'm working, that requires that I need to know certain sections and certain chapters of Civil Procedure Code, CCP. That's what.
Okay.
So how and when you are supposed to, what is the statute of limitations? So according to that,
Hmm.
I'm supposed to draft and send and file the particular whatever brief I'm doing or working on.
Right.
But document review did not require anything related to any US laws. I just needed to understand what my client wants and
Hmm.
how that will help this it's like basically it was how I'll describe it. I don't know whether anybody else would agree to it. It's like reading an English chapter and then
Right.
answering the question answers at the end of that chapter. So it was that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what is the scope in terms of job opportunities for people who are studying law in India and doing their LLBs in India? And what is the job scope for them in this field?
I think there's a good amount of companies that are giving job opportunities to freshers and to people who want to come back to the corporate world or want to get a taste of it.
Okay,
Because it has like both permanent jobs also, it has both contract jobs also. So if you want to get out of
okay,
it after 1 year, you can end the contract. Anyways, you have that option everywhere. But
right.
that scope here is like huge, and especially for like you realize like we know there are certain colleges that are called creamy colleges that are called top notch colleges, right?
Right.
And then there are colleges that are very basic colleges, like not
Mhm.
considered that good. So people like coming from those colleges struggle a lot to get jobs. So
Okay,
it's yeah, so like this is one area that you can go ahead and work, and there are opportunities here, so no judgment whatsoever, because
okay.
I have
So,
faced that, so that's why I'm saying that. Yeah.
okay. So, people who've done their LLBs and then they don't want to get into litigation or maybe family law. That is one option. This kind of a, setup of where you're doing, work of a associate attorney is an option. Any other options that are available for them?
Uh,
And apart from US, are there other countries also who are kind of sourcing out this kind of work to India?
yes. Now it's like after the whole fiasco of that Facebook and Gmail happening, UK and
Right.
European countries have been very strong on data protection laws. So that's
Okay.
something that is coming back to India. So that is also
Hmm.
one part of document review. But
Okay.
GDPR now is a whole other area of work. So if
Okay.
newcomers are coming in and seeing that there are a lot of jobs regarding GDPR, that's something
Hmm.
that's like coming and upgrowing. And Japan, yeah, I think Japan is also there, UK is also there, and there's certain other countries that I think from Southeast Asia that are more involved in this area now.
Okay. So, Jasleen, what is the full form of GDPR?
It's General Data Protection Regulation.
Okay. So, you're saying a lot of job opportunities are coming into India with regard to this.
Yes. Both
Okay.
in document review, the kind of work I used to do, and contract management.
Okay. So, what is the kind of, do you need to have a LLB for this or just a BA would do?
No. So basically, the client requirement that comes
Okay.
is that they need paralegals. So basically, paralegals are those who don't have a degree, but you know, I've done a certain course regarding paralegal. So that doesn't exist in India.
Okay.
So that, like, I think our LLB is somewhat similar to, like, they consider it somewhat similar to their paralegal
Paralegal work.
course. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why it's been
Okay.
outsourced here.
Okay. And what are the kind of, salary packages that the freshers can expect in these kind of contract, or even if it's a permanent job that they're looking at?
More than what you get in litigation. So I think it's
Okay.
your. So when I started, when I got my first job, it was my first salary was around, in hand I used to get 21,
Okay.
and that was my basic salary. So there are a
Hmm.
lot of companies that give you overtime. They
Okay.
give you comp off is like coming on Saturdays or working extras, and you get a complimentary off. So
Right.
that's also there, yeah. And then you get the
Okay.
facilities of back and forth of going back and pick and drop. Yeah.
Okay. So in the beginning, you said this work sometimes gets very monotonous and boring. So
Yes.
what is that one tip that you would give to, freshers who are thinking of getting into this? Just, for them to be able to succeed here and keep the boredom and, the cross-eyed thing away.
Apart from making a lot of friends in office, I'll say that there are a lot of companies that provide trainings. So at
Okay.
that time, you think that those trainings are of no use to you. And I used to be
Hmm.
that one person. And I suffered
Okay.
a lot after that. So whatever trainings there are, just go through them, whichever suits you at whatever given point of time, and do them.
Hmm.
Because,
Okay.
you know, not only they are regarding your work or what kind of work you're doing, there are
Hmm.
also very like effective leadership, and then there is Six Sigma. I don't know what Six Sigma is,
Okay.
but a lot of job ask for it if you have done that or not. So a lot of
Okay.
companies give you that opportunity to do the trainings
Hmm.
free, and which you have to pay for. So I'll say that go through the trainings, and then there are cross department trainings also happening, like
Okay.
compliance. There is a compliance department. You can go there and understand what kind of work they do and help them out. So yeah,
Hmm.
so I'll say do
So
that.
that,
And
okay. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Jasleen. It was really nice. And I hope our viewers also got some learning as to another option after their LLB.
I
Thank you
hope
so much.
I hope they did. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So that was Jasleen sharing with us her experience and her journey in the field of law. She, after doing her LLB, decided that litigation as a career is not for her. And, after spending so many years into studying a subject, I think it is okay to understand that this is not meant for you and you need something different. She's currently working as an associate with a law firm and, reviewing contracts and working in a field that she now likes and enjoys, and is using her legal knowledge for the work that she's doing. So what she said, that you need to have friends and you need to keep growing by doing various kind of trainings that you get an opportunity to do. It is okay if you don't find your area of passion or liking in the first go, but it is definitely important to understand what you can't handle, what you're not interested in, and something that is not working for you, because doing it just for the sake of it or out of obligation is something that is going to make you miserable and not let you grow and succeed in the path that you've chosen. I hope this session was insightful, and if you have any questions, do write below in the comments. Also, do like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you.